Hey everybody, what's going on? You may or may not know this, but Resistance 3 finally got its its confirmation. Really, for me, it's confirmation. I'm a big skeptic. I don't believe, whatever. Yeah, we saw the billboard. Yeah, we saw it being scanned in a couple magazines as being on PlayStation's list of titles. We didn't see it at E3, so I was like, I guess it's not coming out. But at Gamescom today, they had the teaser trailer. It was released, and I gotta tell you, it looks pretty badass. The teaser trailer didn't show any gameplay or anything like that, but it's Resistance, and it gets my attention. Personally, me, it gets my attention. It was the first game I played on PS3, and the second one, I loved it because I love the story. I like to follow it up, and keep in touch with it. And so this really makes a problem that I had previously. My problem is, what's the next sci-fi shooter that I buy? What's it going to be? Which one is it going to be out of the major ones coming out? And my problem just got a little bigger, because now instead of it was narrowed down to 3 games, and now it's 4, because Resistance 3 has just been announced. And, and it all sucks. It sucks really bad. The worst part about it is the fact that I'm only going to buy one, because I don't believe in having too many types of one game in my library. Because I won't play the other ones, and it's just a waste of money, personally. And then the other problem with it is they all come out relatively close to each other, with the exception of Resistance 3. I don't know when that's coming out. There hasn't been an official release date. We just know that it's going to come out in 2011. There's no way they're releasing it in 2010. But the other 3 that I'm talking about, which I'll get into right now, they all are within months of each other in 2011, so it's a big problem. But yeah, let me just get into the other games. I mean, first off, okay, Resistance 3, because obviously I've been talking about it right now. But the other 3 of them are Crysis 2, Killzone 3, and Brink. And all of those games, the thing that is really killing me here is all 4 of these games have something different about them that they offer to me. I mean, personally, Resistance, like I said, first game I played on PS3. I played the second one. I couldn't wait for it. And unfortunately, the second one fell short of what I was expecting. But it had some ideas in it that I was like, holy crap, why can't other shooters kind of realize, maybe we should put this in our game. It just had like for example, 8-player co-op where you're basically walking around and there's a shitload of enemies, and you and 8 of your friends can just tear shit up for a while, or you and 7 of your friends can just tear shit up for a while. And it just, you had different things you had to finish, and depending on how good you were doing, the enemies got harder, or if you were struggling, they got a little easier. It would adjust to you, it'd send you more guys if you had done well, and that was really cool. They just didn't do it right. And they also had 60-player co-op, or 60-player online multiplayer, and that was amazing because it was so chaotic, but it was still controlled. It was really fun. It was really addictive. But the problem was, I think there was a couple of problems. I mean, obviously the game didn't look as good as I had hoped it to look, and they just didn't pull it off quite as well as I was hoping for it. It fell short. It fell short of my expectations. But the thing is, Resistance 3 is coming out, and there have been advancements in how they use the PS3 since then. Naughty Dog has came out with the masterpiece known as Uncharted 2. Guerrilla Games has came out with the beast Killzone 2. And then God of War 3's come out from Sony Santa Monica. And you know damn well that all 3 of those developers are going to be like, hey, Insomniac, come here, let's show you something real quick. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. There's going to be communication. And with Crytek, I mean, Crytek's working with Sony also, because obviously they're working close with the other companies. Don't think Crytek's not going to answer a call from Insomniac. They'll answer a call because they're not assholes over there. They'll work together and collaborate. And so I'm thinking Resistance 3 could really could really live up to what I was hoping Resistance 2 lived up to. And I mean, with that possibility, I'm just like, I can't ignore the game because it's too good of a possibility for me personally. The other games, obviously I'm going to get into those right now. But the other thing with Resistance 3 is I want to finish the story. I want to know what happens. They had a cliffhanger that kind of left me with a sour taste in my mouth. Nathan dies, or does he, or what happens? So I want to know what happens with that. I mean, it's a long list of why I want Resistance 3. On to the next game though, Crysis 2. PC guys, I really don't have to tell you guys anything else, but for anybody that didn't play the first one on PC, knows how beautiful of a game it is, and also how innovative of a game it is. It has sandbox, and it looks really good. I mean, that's 2 things that you really don't hear generally in the same sentence. the other thing about it that really made it fun for me, or not even fun, but one I wanted to play it so bad, was just cool little features. The nano suit was a really cool idea. The fact that you could customize your weapon right on the spot and then hop back into action. I mean, just cool things like that. You could pick things up, you could kick things. It's just really, it looks like a fun game. It looks like a different first-person shooter experience. The fact that the second one is on consoles, I've been excited about it ever since. E3 was a letdown though. I was disappointed with E3. Yeah, the graphics were where I expected them. Yeah, the gameplay was where I expected it to be. Unfortunately, the enemy AI and all the other stuff they're talking about, it just didn't show up for me. I didn't really get that wow feature from it. I didn't see the drool or nothing like that. And it's like, well, I wouldn't be drooling anyway, but it didn't give me that. You know what I'm talking about. It didn't give me the wow factor that I really wanted or expected from it. But recently, like in the last couple days, there's been a couple videos let out. Number one, there was a walkthrough with the developers of the E3 level, and they explained some of the stuff, and I was like, okay, that's really impressive, and that's getting me interested in your game again. And then also today I saw a video of its multiplayer for the first time, and it looks really fun. It looks amazing. The biggest thing for me about this game, though, about the multiplayer, when I saw that, it got me excited because they were playing it live. They were actually playing the game. There was 12 people playing the game, and from what I saw, it's always been what I've wanted from a sci-fi shooter. It's all the fun of being a sci-fi character, the movement and all the cool stuff, all the gadgets and whatnot, but you don't have the health of a sci-fi character, and I love that. That's why I hate Halo for so much. I just can't stand Halo because you have so much health in Halo. It's a little ridiculous at times. A lot of people say it's skill-based, others say it's just gay. I'm unfortunately one of the people that just doesn't really care for it. But it fits for Halo, but for Crysis, like if that's the case, because you see during the course of the video, you see a guy getting sniped, one-shot kill, and it wasn't a headshot. You see a guy getting taken down with a couple hits from an assault rifle, like 3 or 4 of them. You see a guy getting killed, you see 2 guys getting killed from a grenade. So it's just cool things like that, and I'm like, alright, cool, they're actually, maybe the health's not super high. So I don't know, that's not a confirmation that the health's not super high. Maybe it was like a hardcore mode or something, but it gives me hope for that experience that I've always wanted, being able to jump 20 feet but not taking 20 bullets. So I'm hoping for that. Going on to Killzone 3, Killzone 2 was probably the game that I had been hyped for most ever since I've been playing video games. That was the game that I got hyped for so much. Like the amount of hype that I had for that game, I literally talked about it every day, and it was just like, that was back when games were like the thing in my life. Now they're really not. They're not that. They're just something I like to do as my hobby away from fitness and whatnot. But Killzone 2, I had so much hype for it, and I wasn't disappointed with it. Killzone 2 was a great game. It actually lived up to the hype. The thing that killed Killzone 2 for me personally was just the fact that they had little things wrong with it. The spawn killing. And the controls, honestly, when you go play Call of Duty for 3 hours and then you play Killzone, it just kind of sucks because you have so many friends on... me personally, I have so many friends who play Call of Duty. So I go play Call of Duty for a couple hours, and then I go back to Killzone when they would get off or whatever. I felt like playing Killzone, and I would suck because I would never be able to adjust to it. So, but now they've said numerous times the controls are smoother. And they said that they're working on different mechanics for the multiplayer. It's kind of like, you really can't... You just have to trust Guerrilla Games. Guerrilla Games knows what they're doing. They definitely do. And they know that they made their game to... it excluded a lot of people. And it was really withheld to one audience. And they know that now. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Killzone 2 had its own unique charm to it, though. And some people are afraid that it's going to be gone. But that whole idea of just how gritty it was... especially for a sci-fi shooter, because sci-fi shooters are really real colorful and they make you feel good, and you see lasers and people, all that stuff. Killzone doesn't have that. It's just like, no, you're gonna die. They're trying to kill you. The fact that the AI in Killzone 2 is so dynamic is so amazing. I mean, it was a great game. So I really have high hopes for 3. And then it leads me on to my obviously my 4th game would be Brink. Brink has something that none of these games has. Brink has the option to actually free run in it. Parkour type stuff. you see a wall in front of you, and a lot of other games are like, well, you can't jump over that wall because it's higher than a foot. In Brink, it's like, no, screw that, I'm scaling it. And you can climb stuff, you can, like, you can free run, you can just straight scale stuff. You can, like, if you see a building and you see a window you want to get into, you can try to get in that window. I mean, that's a cool idea because it has the smart movement in it. It's called smart. It's so amazing. And like the videos that I've seen of Brink recently, it's just like they're blowing my mind. And I've been reading, the different way the multiplayer is. The multiplayer for Brink, it isn't, oh, we're gonna play team deathmatch, and okay, you can go capture the flag. Capture the flag, you can play that next, or you can go play search and destroy right now. No, it's like you're actually on a real mission. And it resembles capture the flag, or it resembles team deathmatch, or it resembles search and destroy, but it's all in one mission. And the other thing about it is you have someone countering you. So say you're the dude who likes to go and be all sneaky. There's other guys that are sneaky, and they'll find you because you're gonna take the same backstreet routes. You're gonna run into your counter agent. I mean, it just sounds really cool. It sounds like something that no other game can offer. And then the other thing about Brink also is the fact that you have so much more customization than any of these other games. Any other games that I mentioned in this video. You can customize the way your character looks down to the way his eyes look. You can customize your character's gun so much. Like there's a video in description. All the videos that I'm talking about will be in the description, where you can customize your gun, and they pop like 4 attachments on one gun. It had like a drum. It had a drum clip, like a silencer. It had a freaking grip in the front and a scope on top, so it was all tricked out. I mean, it's just there's so much customization in that game. And so this brings me to my big dilemma. Which one of these 4 games is going to be my game? Is going to be my sci-fi game? Because like I said, I don't like to overrun my library. I have my Grand Theft Auto game. I have my third-person shooter. I have my RPG, Fallout. You guys all know what my RPG is. Come on. I mean, there's no question about that. Fallout all the way. I have my Call of Duty for my my regular shooter that I play most often because a lot of my friends always have it. And then I have my sci-fi shooter. Right now, I currently don't have a sci-fi shooter. Right now, it's just that's an empty slot in my repertoire of games. So I'm really looking forward to these games because I want a sci-fi shooter that I can enjoy. But the problem is I've never been able to enjoy a sci-fi shooter for a long time. It's been cool, but once I beat the story and once I play multiplayer for a while, I lose interest in it. So I'm really hoping that one of these 4 games will really click with me and make me want to keep playing after I beat the story. Otherwise, I'm just going to rent them all for a week and then I'll take them back. I mean, I'm hoping it doesn't come to that. I'm hoping I can actually buy one and really be happy that knowing in my heart that I bought the right one. And then that'll be that. I mean, it's just, I'm hoping that I get a game out of this that is just better than all the other ones, bar none. And it's going to be difficult because all of the developers are very talented. Like I said, Insomniac was the first developer that I ever touched on PlayStation. Like, seriously, and I thought it was funny. PlayStation 1, Spyro was my first game. And Spyro kicks ass. You don't like Spyro? Well, you can go die. No, I'm not serious about that. But, and then PlayStation 3, I mean, I played Resistance. So, Insomniac has a special place in my gaming world. And then, Crysis. Crysis has that amazing freaking sandbox playstyle and the graphics to die for. And then the idea of being able to be a super soldier without the health of a super soldier is like, that's a good idea. Killzone. I want to know what happens next in that story also. It's just I want to see how much different is it. Does it still have that gritty feel? I want to fight that AI that just comes at you ruthlessly and it actually has a plan. And Brink. The fact that I'm not going to get stuck on a box anymore. If I see a shoebox, I can jump over the shoebox. So it's just all these games have something that they all offer differently. And I'm asking you guys now, if any of you are even going to buy any of these games, what game are you going to get out of these 4 games? Or are you going to get Halo instead? Because I know people who play Xbox, they love their Halo. And there's nothing wrong with that. So I mean, maybe the game for some of you Xbox guys is going to be Halo, and you're just like, I'm not getting any of those other games. I'm getting Halo. So, but let me know what sci-fi shooter is your sci-fi shooter as far as the games coming up, and it's got to be like a first-person shooter. So I'm not talking about Rage, and I'm not talking about Gears of War, because because I mean they just they're different. They're different types of games. They're great games, but they're different types of games. We're talking about sci-fi first-person shooter. I want to know which one you guys are gonna get out of the ones